Test. Test. Okay, yes, it's working. Oh, there's a lot of delay. Hello, 6 viewers. How are you? I hope my chat loads. I haven't done this in like forever. Last time I did it, I didn't even have the ceiling done. So, if you could leave a comment so I can make sure that the comments are working. Well, here I can show you guys. See, I'm looking for chat guys here. I just don't see anything yet. Or, you know, maybe YouTube is being stupid. We don't know. I wonder if I could look it up on my phone here. Just hold tight. No, that's not going to work. Why is it not showing? And why is it... YouTube, come on. Fix your stuff. Although it might be because I have things running that turn off other stuff. But at least I have 14 viewers, so yay! Let's see if we can fix this. Monetization, we'll turn this on, done, save. Oh, you guys don't want to see that. You want to see my webcam, you want to see me. Can I go into a new Incognito window and view my own stream? Hey, okay. All right, guys. So you can see here there is. Hey, okay. All right, chat. So you can see here. No. Here there is. Mute that. Depending on the viewer that I'm using, like this should show chat here. Oh wait. Why? Okay. Let me put this back here, and this will just go back to here, so you guys can, you know, whatever. It's just a landing page. Sorry, you guys couldn't even see what I was doing. Here, I'll show it again. So I have two different viewers here. This is the console that YouTube has that, you know, has comments here. And then this is just a window on incognito mode. And previously, these weren't showing. And I don't know why. But now they are showing, and clearly something there's broken. Good job, YouTube. Alright, so I'll leave that there. In fact, we can just shut that off and we'll go back to my webcam. Okay, guys. PyGuy24, welcome back. I am the pump and the turbine guy, and the water wheel guy. Nice to see that Andy's in here too. He's also a water wheel guy, just not quite as common. I'm eating gummy worms because smoked wings is not enough for dinner. Yeah, it's been many months since I had a live stream going. It seems like there's always something in the way. But today I was like, screw it, let's do it. I haven't cleaned the shop. I cleaned off a little bit of my workspace here. I can show you guys. Look, there's clean desktop. Just don't look over there, or over there, or behind me. Don't look at that, okay? What else is interesting and new here? Right there is a new motorcycle that I just got. I got it today. Might need a little bit of work. It is a Rokon, or Rokon, however you say it. It's a two-wheel drive motorcycle, dirt bike, mini bike. So if you drew a Venn diagram between, a Venn diagram is where you have like circles of things and they intersect, and where they intersect is like something. A Rokon motorcycle is a Venn diagram of an ATV, a dirt bike, and a mini bike. And maybe a three-wheeler. Yeah, sure, we can throw that in there too. What else we got going on here? If you guys have any questions, that'd be cool, just to have some stuff going. Right here is ram pump stuff. Like, it's all just crap. Ram pump supplies. Here I've got some valves packaged up. I'm trying to sell those on eBay. Here I'll put a link on eBay to it in the description. Well, here, I'll just put it there. So these I'm selling. I have sold, it says 4 sold, but I've sold 5. I don't know why it says 4 sold. It's odd. So I'm working on selling these as a kit, and I hope that I get more sales. Okay, profit margin on them. Antonio, dealing with the 3D printed turbine. I've been working on some things. I don't have anything that's ready to even show you guys. Frankly, I'm not too pleased with it myself, so I'm not going to show it. But I'm working on a low head Kaplan turbine that has vanes in it that will direct the water or stop the water for low head turbines. The kinds that well, not quite this kind of turbine, you know, if you had a turbine in here and water coming in. This could be used for a low head turbine, but the type that I'm doing is kind of a imitation of what Power Spout does. So they have a low head turbine as well. And I had 3D printed some Turgo wheels for a little motor that I have, kind of like this one, but I never actually hooked it up because I couldn't get it to run smoothly. I mean, the run out was terrible, so I just never even tried it. is when I'm going to try hooking up to the water wheel someday in a video when I get water flowing. Right now it's kind of dry and I don't have water flowing to spin the water wheel. But this is a stepper motor that I got in a box of junk, and so it has pardon me, this has been a few months since I did this. It was just sitting on my desk because I got it out for something else. But these are the 4 main phases, and then I forget what these other 2 are for. Okay, yeah, these are center taps for each phase. So there's 2 AC phases that come in here. Well, actually here. So each one of these is a rectifier. So this is a rectifier for one phase, and then a rectifier for another phase, and then this is a capacitor to just smooth it all out and push the power out in DC mode. So this is AC going to DC, and this is just a really small converter for 2-phase AC. Going along with that is this. Wow, I have so much junk on my desk. This is a Gates GT2 belt that I have a large pulley on the water wheel that you might have seen in a previous video. So I plan on hooking this up to it, and we'll see if we get some usable power out of it, make it run long term. Because everything that I've done previously has just been like, set it up, okay, it makes voltage, tear it down. It's been a little bit annoying. I don't have the right site for it, I guess you could say. So that's a little bit irritating. I think the comments might have froze again on my... Oh, nope. Okay, comments are working because Abram just posted something. What do you mean, what am I talking about right now? I was talking about a generator for the water wheel that I have set up in the creek. Am I still mowing lawns? No. I never really was mowing lawns. I was mowing brush mowing, like all-terrain mowing. I did do a job. I don't have any pictures because it was hot. I wanted to get it done. I did a job for a realtor friend of mine. He's not really a friend. He's just an acquaintance. He sold us our first house, and again, we sold it through him. So we have 2 real estate transactions with him. And he bought a property that was overgrown, so he needed somebody to mow it. I did not take my big tractor. I actually have, that you guys have never seen, I have a walk-behind brush hog. So I threw that in the bed of my truck, and I did that job with a walk-behind brush hog. And I don't have a trailer anymore. The trailer that I was using was actually my aunt's. So she asked for it back, and I gave it back. So I don't even have a trailer to transport my tractor anymore. It's a little bit annoying because it's right on the verge of requiring a 2-axle trailer that's rated for over 3,000 pounds. And anytime you have a trailer that's over 3,000 pounds, you need 2 axles. Anytime you need 2 axles, then you need, technically, you need a DOT number and proper insurance and all sorts of other inspections and other crap that I just didn't want to deal with. And I don't have enough time to do mowing, or to do a lot of mowing jobs. And the road that I live on, the door's open, you might actually hear some traffic noise. The DOT state troopers basically camp out on my road right here. So I don't want to get any sort of DOT fines. It's a real hindrance. I may be able to get a single axle 3,000 pound trailer to transport the tractor, and I might be able to do some jobs on the side, but not with... The insurance was also kind of expensive. So the insurance was about $200 a month, and I wasn't doing $200 worth of work a month. So it literally lost me money just to have insurance for that job. So I don't do it anymore. Okay. My short form videos explaining simple pieces of the ram pump concept and other hydraulics have been great. Keep it up. I will. Thank you. One thing I noticed, maybe I can show it. A good example here. So, of course, these are one-way swing check valves. So you can see that swinging around in there, moving. These are really cheap ones. This one's DN20, which is close to an MPT 3/4 inch tap, but it's a different thread form. So it's the right shape and size, but the thread form is different. That's an aside. These are really cheap ones, and I was going through a different supplier, but buying much higher quantities, like, what is it, 12 per box instead of 2. And so these are the 2 swing check valves that I've been trying with, and I sold a few ram pumps with this size check valve. So these are both 1/2 inch. And you can see that one is much larger, much more substantial, and it's heavier. It's probably about 50% heavier or more. And the swing check inside is also heavier. And this one, the water would very easily push the flap up because it's a lightweight flap. And so I wasn't really getting a whole lot of pressure on this. And I want to do a video comparing different swing check valves because they do actually matter. So this swing check valve with a much heavier flapper did about double the pressure. Same size valve, same orientation, just a little bit more weight, and it performs twice as good. So that's a video that I want to do for ram pumps. And another one is methods of measuring ram pump output, both in pressure and flow. And I have like 3 different ways of measuring flow at different back pressures. So I want to try testing how those work. Just verifying that the easier methods of testing them are valid. And by easier, I mean ways of measuring the flow at specific back pressure without having to go up a hill. But now, maybe going up a hill is not such a difficult thing, you know, with the motorcycle that I just got. There's other things I wanted to do that I want to do. Are we going to do any more hydro turbine videos? Yes, I'm going to do a lot of them. So this brings me to a sticking point that I have with YouTube and myself personally. And I think it's 3 things. I'm going to try to remember them. The first one is analysis paralysis. So I just keep analyzing things to try to make it more efficient, more powerful in my mind, or like computer modeling. So that slows me down and delays me. The other one is imposter syndrome, which is a big one for any any person that does YouTube, at least at my scale, or less or more. And imposter syndrome is, I can't do videos to the same quality that those in my, with the same scale of channel can do. So pair that with analysis paralysis, and it just turns out that I don't do a lot of YouTube videos because I always think I can do better than what I am, or I should be doing better, that other people will enjoy watching more. And the third one is that I'm kind of lazy. So I'm an engineer and I want to do it right the first time instead of having to redo it. Even though redoing it, wow. Shut my door. The road noise is kind of loud when the road gets wet. So I'm lazy. I just want to do it right the first time, and I don't have a whole lot of time to do things. But I do realize that the trial and error process would make good content for YouTube. And I don't have a whole lot of time, so I don't know. It's difficult to do that sort of stuff. I have pretty much everything that I need to. I have a computer model for the new turbine housing for my high head turbine. Really, I just need to get out the plasma cutter and make a template and just cut it and weld it. I have to learn TIG welding, especially for stainless, which I've never done. So that's another learning hurdle that you could say that I have. It all just adds up to large mental burdens, or I don't know what the right term is. Okay. So I'll go back to reading comments. Excuse me, I'm a little bit congested. Abram says, am I making money from YouTube? Sure, I'll show you guys how much I make. Let me just load up the correct analytics, and I'll show that to you guys. Here you go. That's how much I make a month. That's it right there. Not a whole lot in the grand scheme of things. And I say not a whole lot because what is it, 150 times, so that pretty much right there covers daycare, and it's my job to pay daycare, so I don't have any extra money. Any extra money I do make from my YouTube channel, either through t-shirt sales, which I don't think I've actually sold any recently, or Patreon, or Amazon affiliate links. Those are what I get to spend on my YouTube channel. Here, I'll show you Amazon affiliate. You guys can guess my Patreon. It's under $100, so it's not really a whole month, a whole bunch each month. Just one moment while I load up Amazon influencer income. These are any links that I have in the description that you guys click on. Oh wow, it's pathetic. Here you go, guys. So some months it's like $30, $60, $90, but this month is abysmal. So if you guys aren't clicking on links in the description to Amazon products, then I don't get any revenue from them. Well, okay, you have to go on Amazon, you have to actually buy something. It doesn't even have to be what I link to. But that's part of how I make money on YouTube. Oh, darn it, I'm stupid. Here, let's try this again. There you go. That's how much I make on YouTube, or on Amazon affiliate links. $2.11. Make it bigger for you guys. That's it. Alright, so I'm not actually making a whole lot of money on YouTube. I'm making some money, but it all goes to daycare, so I don't get to use it. Is that a table saw in the background? Asks Sparthier. Okay, I'm pretty sure that's a mythical name. He's asking, is that a table saw in the background? It's actually a trick. There are 2 table saws in the background. So this one here is a Powermatic 65 table saw. It's a 12-inch, 3-phase. So I have a VFD, variable frequency drive, hooked up to it to run it. And then that over there is a Delta Unisaw. It's a 240-volt single-phase machine. And I don't know which one I'm going to keep. That's why I have both. I think I'm going to sell the Unisaw and keep the Powermatic. But the Powermatic needs new arbor bearings, and the Unisaw, it actually has at the bottom of the base there's a cracked base, so it needs fixed. And then the switch needs replaced too because it's bad. I don't know which one I'm going to keep. So either table saw options for good ones. You have Delta Unisaw, Powermatic, either 65 or 66. 66 is the newer ones. You have SawStop, which makes good saws if you ignore the political BS that goes on with their licensing. And then Fusion, I think it is, makes table saws also that are good and cheap, that are new if you don't want to buy an old machine like a Powermatic or a Unisaw. So that's it for table saws. Have I ever tried a variable geometry turbine? No. Do I think it could work like a car turbo? Yes, it could work. Sorry, I'm going back up through my comments here, and just to read them because I talk too much. I should have brought some water with me. What is the point of the ram pump? Ram pump whole point is to take water in a stream that may be at the bottom of your property and pump that water up onto your property somewhere into a tank that you can then use to irrigate or hydrate animals or livestock, or even supply water to your house. And it doesn't require any energy. It works 365 days a year, 24/7. So they're cool devices. Let's see. Connex is asking, cool to see you live. Seems like cocaine chat. So okay. Don't know what that's about, Adam. I see you retracting your message. Sparthier is talking about owning my mistakes, and it is valuable content. It just takes a lot of time to make that content. And I know my quality it's acceptable. There's a guy stripping a Land Rover vehicle right now, Sparthier. Sorry, I should probably just put this up here. Here, you guys can see what I'm looking at. I'm looking at the comments over here and reading them. Talking about a Land Rover vehicle. I'm pretty sure I know the channel you're talking about, but it's been a while since I watched any of his videos. I know because it's Land Rover USA in Britain, but I think it's in Britain. The guy's British or Irish. And of course, because it's Land Rover, that's where they would be. So that doesn't mean a whole lot. Andy's saying hopefully we'll have more water soon. Yeah, I know it's been dry-ish. We've had enough water to keep everything green, but not enough water to have excess surface water flowing where we live. Like, my spring is only flowing 1 gallon per minute. It's not very good. Mike in Japan, Tokyo, Japan. Hi. And I need to figure out how to move the mini, or you know what? Here. So you guys can see what I'm seeing. I'll just move it over. In between technical videos, show chores or chicken feeding. I do enjoy feeding the chickens. Every time we have leftovers, it doesn't even feel like a loss because I can go out in the yard and they know that when I walk out into the yard carrying something that there's probably leftovers that they're going to get. And today was mac and cheese. So they were very, very excited. I probably could have recorded that and just shot it up on YouTube. Hello to those Scandinavian viewers. And the water wheel's just chilling right where it is. Sometimes it spins, sometimes it doesn't. It depends on the water that's flowing. It will spin with just like a few drops, but it's, you know, you can't take any power off of that. And Mog is talking about all the low head hydro work that I'm doing. I kind of enjoy that too. It seems like low head hydro has more sites available, more opportunities, and I think I might be able to, I don't know, make some more money doing that sort of stuff. Adam says, did I get flooding with Ida? No. I was just far enough north that we got a little bit of rain. I think we got 2 inches of rain. And it rained all day. So it really wasn't even like flooding anything. Nothing here flooded. I mean, yeah, the creeks rose. We've got some good water, but it wasn't like really flooding. Mog says he works on some low head stuff as well. Please do share. I am interested in viewing all of that stuff. Mike says, did I ever think about making a photovoltaic water pump with permanent magnets? Well, guess what? Let me just reach my hand here. Yep, there we are. Ha! Look at that. So I got to try hooking this up to photovoltaics for... I want to try it with direct water pumping. But mainly to recirculate the water that I'm using to test the ram pump, because I can only test so much because I have a limited supply of water. I have a 275 gallon IBC tote that I use to store water, but you know, if you're using a ram pump that takes 3 gallons per minute, then that's 100 minutes or less. So I don't actually get a whole lot of testing time, and so I do want to recirculate the water, and I of course do want to do it with solar power. I have some solar panels out front that I have charging up my power station. Sparth here, hi from New Zealand. Oh, of course, Kiwi Warrior, that makes more sense. The kiwi the bird, not kiwi the fruit. And Vifgul, is that how you pronounce your name? Probably. All of my films. I wouldn't call them films. Also, technically, film is like an ancient term dealing with movie cameras that had actual rolls of film. But thank you for watching all of my recordings. Is that even a proper term? I don't... Capturings with a memory card is maybe a more apt technical term at this point. Sparthier Kiwi Warrior, because you're in Nigfilan, if that's how it's pronounced. Hello. Sparthier. I was listening to a book that had New Zealand mentioned in it today. And I listen to a lot of audiobooks. The current audiobook that I'm listening to is actually something that I saw that my brother added to his Goodreads list. And it's Dungeon Crawler Carl. And there was a thing in there mentioned where the dungeon master, in this case, was apologizing for the... there was a bug where there was some sort of viral outbreak in New Zealand. But the dungeon masters are aliens. And it's a real life dungeon. So that's... here, I can bring that up for you. Let's see. New Incognito. I like to prepare things on a different screen. So I have 3 screens here. That one is OBS, which is Open Broadcast Studio. And then my main work screen. And then this is just what you guys are seeing, conveniently because it's a 1080p monitor and the stream is going out in 1080p. And that monitor is, how old is it? It's probably 12 or 14 years old. It's very dim. I mean, it's half as bright as my main 2 monitors here. Oh, back to that book. I'm looking it up on Goodreads. Oh, it's asking me to sign in. But I have an Incognito window open. One moment. Or you know what? It doesn't have to be Goodreads. It can just be Amazon. Why does it always show my bookmarks tab? I don't want you guys to see my bookmarks. You know what? Screw it. I can just do it right here. I don't know why I'm complicating things. There you go. That's what I'm listening to right now. Just move that over a little bit so you guys can see it better. I think it's so far a very interesting read. A lot of the audiobooks that I read are hard science fiction, and so sometimes it's nice to have a break away from hard science fiction. Which is ironic because Dungeon Crawler is kind of hard science fiction, but it's framed in a different light. It's framed in a fantasy light. And I enjoy books that are like that. Ironically, I absolutely hate any book that has just blatant magic. It's just magic, like nobody understands it. But I enjoy books where magic is a mechanic of some other simulation, computer simulation. 2 that I can think of. I'll bring them up here because why does it keep showing my bookmarks? Not that you guys care what my bookmarks are. I don't even have anything important there. So another book that I like is Magic 2.0. And this one is, he's in a computer simulation. Real life is actually a computer simulation. So I enjoy that book too. And the other one that I listened to recently is... what is it called? My brother was listening to it and mentioned it in text. Let me just look that up real quick, because I don't remember the name of every book that I... Okay. New Era. This is another book series that it's like Dungeons and Dragons, which I've never actually played, mind you. I've played Pathfinder once with my brother. But this is another one where it's a guy trapped in a game. But the game is on a server. So those are 3 books that I really enjoyed that are fantasy existing in, trying to frame this properly. It's fantasy with bases in real life. Like, the magic isn't just magic. It's science that's more advanced than we can understand, or it's a simulation. Real magic like The Hobbit or Harry Potter, I can't stand that. Alright, let's go back to catching up on the comments here. Okay, I'm right here. Videos. Okay, sure. We'll call them videos. How many viewers? 25. Okay, that's pretty good. Pumped hydro solar storage would be a cool video. That is not a bad idea. I have some things. I'll be right back. Oh, where are they? Looking, finding. Found. Coming back. So I have lots of these stored on a wall over there. You can see them all. And they all have different things in them. Some are projects, some are supplies, like bolts, voltmeters, tape, whatever, zip ties, glue. So somebody was mentioning, Adam was mentioning pumped hydro, which may be a good video for these guys. 3, 4, I think that's all. Can't remember how many I bought. Yeah, 4. So if you do a YouTube search for a hydro turbine, some of the video search results that you'll get show multiple of these. And I want to try these. I guess I could try these with pumped hydro. But I'd be limited to kind of like a medium-low head of only 20 or 30 feet. So I can run 4 of these in parallel and probably get decent power. So I run these in parallel, so they each have their own supply. So, tank, water in, water out, and it's just waste. Tank, water in, water out, waste. As opposed to putting these in series. And then doing something with the wiring. I also wanted to try these with my hi-hat system, but because each one of these can, reduce the pressure effectively, to put a bunch of these in series and see if these will make power, just as a good video to see what happens. So that's a project I wanted to do, a video I wanted to do. I bought those months ago and I just haven't gotten to it, just like everything else. Back to the comments. I'm sorry I'm behind, guys. Do I have any future projects? Yes. That's kind of like an inclusive or statement. Okay. It would be interesting to watch a tour of your shop. Will we ever see something like this? If you go back in my video history, you'll see a shop tour. I haven't done one recently, but it is still a valid shop tour for this location. I also have a shop tour for my old shop in my old house. Any updates on the low head turbine? Okay, the low head turbine, he's sent me videos, and they're a lot better videos. They're GoPro quality. He's probably itching for me to produce them into something good. But he's making 450 watts continuous with those low head impellers that I've sent to him. And that's what I can say about that. It's pretty impressive, and I'm very proud of myself. Give myself a pat on the back for doing a good job with those. So Sparthier, Asimov Foundation series, I listened to that. Oh, my now wife, she was in college in Columbus, Ohio. No, it wasn't college, it was doctor school, veterinary school. And I listened to Foundation a lot of the drives I would drive to visit her. That would have been 2012, 2011, 2010, I don't know. I read the Foundation a long time ago. I could probably read it again. I like the world building types of books. This Life Reset is a lot of world building, and I enjoyed that. It's kind of almost like SimCity, but it's in a book, and it's a Dungeon and Dragon type book. So I really enjoyed that. New Zealand is handling this pandemic really well. Here in America, we're handling it like shit. What's new there? Warhammer universe or Grimm? No. I know there's a lot of Warhammer lore. I haven't gotten into it. I haven't even tried. I haven't looked it up. So if there's a jumping off point that I could start with, that you could recommend, I would appreciate that. Any sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic. My wife just was mentioning that yesterday. I've heard of that long ago. Oh, I'm trying to think of who quoted that. Whatever, doesn't matter. Yeah, Andy, you said it too. Great minds. If you frame stories like Harry Potter as a story in a simulation, it would make it work. I don't know. I can't say that the premise of Harry Potter would ever really entice me. I've never read the book, but like I said, that sort of magic, I can't stand it. Mog saying pumped hydro on a small scale is not really feasible. Correct, but still maybe good video content. Mike H saying, yeah, 450 watts is pretty impressive. I had estimated that site could probably do 600 watts. But we're at the limit of, we're at the limit. The system is not optimized for how we're using it, we'll say. So we're leaving some watts on the table, and we know that, and we're addressing it. Arthur C. Clarke, that's it. Thank you. I couldn't think of it. Well, I've caught up on comments, so what else do I have on my desk that's interesting? I don't know. I think this is cool. I'll go full web screen. Full web screen, yeah. Full webcam, there we go. Oh, this is just a Dremel. It's, you charge it with, come on, charge it with USB. It doesn't have a whole lot of guts. Like, I have these grinding wheels that go on it. But when these are new and large, it doesn't have the guts to spin it. It's also really quiet. But an advantage of it being so, we'll say, gutless is that I can just finger tighten and it's good enough. It's not going to come loose. So I can very quickly, just because it's on my desk, I can very quickly switch between a cutting disc and a sanding wheel. And Bob's your uncle. So that's cool on my desk. Why am I doing cool things on my desk? Because why the heck not? Okay, in the background, these are not cool, but these came in. Point to it over there. Those. So on top of my 3D printer cabinet over there, I got a whole bunch of they're like resealable cereal containers from Amazon. The brand is Plastic House, ironically, and so that stores all of my 3D printer spools, which is ironic because my 3D printer is sitting beside me right there, because I was working on calibrating it. I don't know what was wrong. The filament feed was way off. I don't know if it was a reset or something. But normally the 3D printer goes in that cabinet. I do have a pending order to print. These, I designed this product and I sell it on Etsy and eBay. It's a dead cat holder, so I need to do a video on this too. So this is a dead cat for this wireless microphone that I use for my camera, and it clips on, but whoops, it fell off. Here, let me clip it on again. Okay, it's really on there. Whoops, it fell off again. So I 3D print and sell these on Etsy. It's a really slick, tight fit. That was not satisfying for you guys, I'm sorry. And so really what you do is you take your dead cat, okay, back up. A dead cat reduces wind noise. So all that loud buffeting you might hear in a microphone, it's because it doesn't have anything to block the wind noise, and that's what this does. So what I can do here is put the dead cat in my holder, and then push the microphone in, and then I have a hole. You can kind of see it there. Come on, focus. I push in there, and that kind of latches it in place. And now, what did I do wrong? Oh, now it fell off. This is a bad print that I've been using. It turns out this had some cracks in it. I was using this because I couldn't sell it because it was a bad print. But that would explain why it fell off. But normally these are held on very firmly, and you cannot make them fall off. So that's a cool thing that I have on my desk. Sparthier has an old Tanner joiner, planer. Well, joiner and a planer here in the States are two different things. Oddly very satisfying restoring old tools. Let me look up what a Tanner joiner planer is. See if... Okay, so so Sparthier is talking about his joiner planer. Is it one of these? In which case it's just a joiner. In the States, a joiner only does one side, makes one side flat. Doesn't make two sides parallel. Making two sides parallel here is a planer, which is ironic because normally you want one surface to be... No, never mind, I'm wrong. But I have a joiner planer machine. It's right there. You can see it. It's covered in stuff right now because I haven't used it recently. It's a Italian-made Minimax FS31. Yes. Which is a 12-inch joiner planer, so it's a convertible machine. You guys are tilted a little bit. There we go. So I can switch it between joiner mode or planer mode, and it's a pretty cool machine. Here I can pull up a picture. There. That's what I have. So I have one of those in my shop, right there, and it's pretty cool. I'm real space efficient. I like them. Adams, did you ever do anything with that guy that built the useless water wheel? Are you talking about Andy? The one that's not hooked up? The Andy that's in our chat feed right here? Or are you talking about some other useless water wheels? There are a lot of useless water wheels. Sparthier saying we call two sides parallel, we call thicknesser. Okay, that's a good term. We sometimes use that term too. These are the sour gummy worms. I like regular gummy worms and gummy bears too. Here's a fun little story for you. A few days home, I was driving home from picking my daughter up at daycare. And I had gummy bears in my passenger seat, and I handed her some. And not like a minute later, she says, "More, please." And here's this really cute thing where she goes, "More, please, more please." She's 3, she can talk, but she also knows the hand signal, the hand sign. So I hand her more. A minute later, she wants more. Turns out, she was stuffing them in her cheeks like a chipmunk. And I was just trying to placate her, because sometimes I like placating her. Let's see, go back to Mimi. He did a video on it and offered to help. Are you talking about... You talking about this one? This one? Yeah, there. if you're talking about that one, he really hasn't done a whole lot of work on it. He has his own business, and he's been very busy as well. He's been working on building a axial flux stator that can be powered by that. And that's also the place where I was working on the low head turbine. If you're talking about some other water wheel, then you'll have to tell me which one. Or if you're talking about my water wheel, which is currently useless because I don't have enough water in this location to run it pretty much ever, no comment. Mike says, back to Warhammer, a 1 through 5 vid from a fan. Okay. Oh. So Adam is talking about Loftus, Party of 6. Yes, there we are. So this guy has built a water wheel.
So this morning I was laying in bed.
Let me get a good picture. There we are. And it's suboptimal. There's a lot of places where it is not optimally built. I haven't heard anything more about that. And so I have no idea if he's even working on it. He never messaged me privately through email or anything, even though I offered. But that's okay, because I'm not an expert. I just play one on YouTube. So I hope that answers your question, Adam. So Mike's talking about Warhammer. Is it Warhammer 40K or Warhammer 40,000? So I do like a lot of sci-fi stuff. So Andy and I, someday here when the water picks up, he was just talking about is we do want to take that low head turbine and really try to get it putting out some power, some usable power. Previously it was doing 8 watts peak, which is like almost useless. But if we can get up to like 40 or 60 or 80 watts, then that would be really, I don't want to stretch and say useful, but a usable amount of power. Where did I start learning everything that I know? YouTube. For example, I have a YouTube playlist where, for years, and occasionally I would just go on YouTube, I would search for micro hydro or hydropower or Kaplan turbine or Harris turbine or Francis turbine or low head turbine or any of those on YouTube or other sites, and I would just read and watch and read because it really fascinated me. It really interested me, and I really enjoyed the concept of hydropower and wind, and to a lesser extent solar. Solar is just kind of renewable energy on easy mode. So yeah, I just read and watched a lot of stuff. There are some online resources if you're interested in this. Navitron. Here. Maybe their website is down. Closed. Huh. Or maybe they just moved here. I don't know. So there was a site called Navitron, but it seems that they are closed now. So I read a lot of stuff there. It's very sad. Maybe we could try. Sorry, I must have typed in the wrong. Wayback Machine is a website, archive.org, there we go, that you can view historical websites. Here, let's see if there's anything here. Oh, that must be the wrong website. Let me keep trying. Or, no, we'll just, we'll go to the other one that I know works. So there's this place called the Backshed, and they have a forum that I believe is called fieldlines.org. Oh, now it's just the Backshed. I'm sorry, it's been years since I've been viewing these websites. So they have windmills and solar. Okay, here's a good place that you can look for more hydro stuff. And if you look on here, you might find posts from me. Ram pump and Pelton wheel. This is probably a guy asking if you can run a Pelton wheel off a ram pump. So I spent a lot of time reading this sort of stuff because it satiated my interest in this sort of content. So going back to the comments, let me make sure I don't have any. My wife was complaining that I was making too much noise just talking. Mike is asking, did I ever look into a small water turbine companies? How are they doing it? I didn't get any inspiration from you have to define small here, because small for water turbines could be 40 kilowatts. Companies like PowerSpout, I think they make an excellent product if you can get them. The problem is, I believe PowerSpout is New Zealand or Australia. So getting them here in the States is expensive. But they make cool products, and that's a lot of the inspiration for what I do. There are many manufacturers for small hydro in the, we'll say, 10 to 500 kilowatt range. And I don't have any inspiration from them. They have a lot more resources than I do, so I can't even really replicate what they do. So I don't bother trying. Yeah. Even 5 kilowatts in a small scale system is really big for what we're talking about. Most of what I talk about is between like 100 watts and maybe 4 kilowatts. Unfortunately, there's just not a whole lot of money in that unless you're in really remote locations and you're powering an entire lodge with that power. At least like commercial applications, not commercial, but okay, residential applications. So, yep. Other cool things that I have sitting around here is a gun that shoots salt at flies. So yeah, it shoots salt. You can kill flies. Great at picnics because, you know, salt is edible. So going back to ram pumps, because why not? I want to do more videos comparing swing check valves, you know, these guys, to other types of valves. In this case, this is a axial or inline check valve, and it has a plunger in there that slides in and out. In this case, it's spring loaded, but you can remove the spring, and so it operates just like one of these swing check valves. And the one that I have on a test turbine out there, I have modified it so I can add weight to hold it down longer, which allows the velocity in the pipe to increase, and you get higher velocities, you get more energy, and you can get more pressure and efficiency. So that's one way where this inline type of valve is potentially quite a bit better than a swing check valve. So you can tune these. The only problem, and I've been text messaging with Seth. Seth is the guy that has the YouTube channel Land to House. The brass slide that's in there, I'm sorry, it's not focusing very well, is it? Anyways, the brass slide will wear out. So that's a significant concern. I kind of have the idea of manufacturing a valve kind of in this format, not quite that format, but the type of format like a foot valve, but with a proper slider that won't wear out under millions of cycles. Okay, sitting on my desk here is the inlet filter for a foot valve that I took off because you can't run the valve with it. That's a valve that I have running on the ram pump outside that has the clear bottle that I had the snifter valve hooked up to. So those are cool too. Just ideas that I have in my head, and I want to make better solutions for everybody out there. And multi-burmister. Hydropower is one of those niche things, or niche things, however you want to say it, that I'm lucky enough to have suitable sites for that sort of content. And I think that's part of the reason why I get decent viewership, because it's something that just not everybody can do. So the only way that they can live, they have to live vicariously through my content. It's just an observation that I've had. But you can also do wind power, you can do battery storage, you can do solar power. There's a lot of options to do anywhere. You can do solar anywhere, and I think solar is perfectly viable pretty much anywhere that you might want to live. Places you might not want to live, like far in the north or south, and by south I mean southern hemisphere, or in steep woods or steep valleys, then it's harder to do solar. But pretty much anywhere else, solar can work. Mike's asking what are the name for these valves. This is an inline check valve, and this is a swing check valve. And the other one that this is the intake for is a foot valve. A foot valve is the valve that goes at the bottom of a well. And it's a one-way valve, just like these, that once the water goes up the pipe, is sucked up the pipe by the pump, that the water, when the pump shuts off, the water doesn't go back down. So that's all a foot valve is. So that's the three types of valves. Andy, you didn't have to give me money. Thanks. Unless you were just using your you can get free Google money from completing surveys. Solar is boring, but still viable and useful. I don't discount it. Solar is great. Did I ever get the used batteries? No. The guy that I was going to get those from, that was right before COVID, and during COVID he lost his job. So I don't have any access to those. Antarctica in the winters is out of the question for solar then. To an extent, yes, but other forms of power are also out of the question, except wind, and even that is maybe difficult. Hydro is difficult because everything's frozen. At least at the scales that we work at, it's hard to prevent freezing. Zachary's asking if I have any microcontrollers. This box? Yeah, this box. Put this down, and that way I don't have to constantly hold things up. So he's asking if I've ever used microcontrollers. Well, here you go. Here is another thing that I need to do a video on eventually. So it's clearly not been used in a while. Do you see all that dust? So what this is a pressure sensor. So this is a pressure sensor that plugs into it. I have an air hose hooked up to it because I was prototyping it with a compressor. And it can measure the pressure at the bottom. And so this is hooked up to a relay board, and the relay board is hooked up to multiple of these valves, and these valves if you apply power, I forget, it depends on how they are, but some that you apply power and it opens and then it doesn't consume any power until you remove the power, and then they close on their own. But you need a microcontroller for that, because anytime you open or close a valve and you're measuring the pressure at the bottom, your dynamic pressure, because the water's flowing and it has friction, the dynamic pressure changes. So it's a moving target every time you change the state of the system. And so I have, in this case, 4 relays, 4 valves, and using a 4-bit configuration, I have like 16, you could say 16 different valve states. And each different valve state would have an upper bound and a lower bound for the flow that it's consuming. Now I have variable input flow, so I'm trying to match the output flow with the valves and the microcontroller, matching the output to the input. So consumption would be perfectly tuned. And so the way I had this set up is it had a lookup table. So if the pressure is like in between like 8 and 9, if the pressure goes up, that means there's more flow because there's more water in the system. more water in the tank at the top, and then it sees, okay, pressure is increased, we can open another valve, and that goes to a new lookup table, or a new line on the lookup table, and so then it knows to look at those specific inputs or those specific values. So that's something I need to do a video on. Again, just something I haven't gotten to, but I was working on it. So yes, I do kind of meddle in that. I'm not good at it. I'm very much an amateur, very much a beginner. So I'm very dangerous. Just trying to put this away, but you know, whatever, we're in a video, so I'll just set it aside. Alkino, how to save the bat for PLTS? I don't know what you're asking, I'm sorry. Did you look into Rukslog Ventil? Foot pump valve for the gray water, dirt water. I have not looked into gray water foot valves. I didn't know those. Here, go back up. I have not looked into gray water foot valves. I didn't know those were a thing, so that's something that I'll have to look up. Oh. I have seen these. They might work. The only problem is a lot of gray water systems are not pressurized systems. So like, for example, this tank that you're looking at, it doesn't run at very high pressure. So the valves are plastic. And at least in this case, there may be other options relevant. The plastic valves will not hold up to the pressure of a ram pump. Sparther's surface floating turbine on rivers. Yeah, surface turbines they're tricky only because of variable flow, variable depth, and debris, and environmental concerns, and aesthetic concerns. I mean, so they're certainly valuable, but there's a lot of hurdles to make them really work. And lots of small turbines is a great idea. Yeah, breadboard projects are for the win. So Zachary's saying I can optimize it. Yep, that's the whole plan. And so Zachary, if you're interested, Elgu or Eligu, that's who I got my relay board from. And they seem to make decent products. So here's the 8-channel version. I don't know why it's grayed out, but I use the 4-channel version for that system I'm using. And they do seem to make other decent products. You don't want to get. You probably know this, so I'm talking about this for others. You don't want to get a random Arduino copy from China, because they might just be crap quality. But if in a real genuine Arduino, it's going to be like $30 a board. But you can go on unlike here. And here's $30 for an entire kit, and this is a 2560. Ironically, I have one of those laying around here. It might be in that box I just put away. And they're great because they have a lot more pins to use. So this is a good option if you're interested in starting with Arduino products, because it's fully compatible with the Arduino ecosystem, and it's a somewhat reputable manufacturer, and it's cheaper than the real one. So that's what I have to say about that. Prince, is that how you're supposed to say your name? You started watching me back in 2017. That's awesome. That's probably when I was doing the water wheel, which I set back up and now has like 2.6 million views somehow, and I need to do more water wheel videos and get a lot of views and make enough money to do more stuff on this channel. I have to do it. But you guys know I started my YouTube channel in 2006. At least that's when I started my YouTube account, which was probably about the same time that that Gmail came out, I think. So I've been around a long time. I, of course, haven't had popular videos for quite some time. Arne's asking if my turbine is performing. I don't have a whole lot of water right now. The turbine is sitting over there somewhere. I don't even have it hooked up. The turbine pit's empty. And Zach is just confirming that Chinese copies are, you get what you pay for. Do I have anything else cool on my desk to show you guys? No. I think that's it. So if nobody else has any comments, I should probably, next time I plan to do this, actually schedule a live stream so that I have more viewers expecting that I will be here. You know, 23 viewers for a channel that has 80,000 subscribers just seems kind of pathetic. By stranger every day, do you mean smarter every day? And I know what you're talking about. I don't think making a new channel is the solution. Everything I always read is just keep the channel you do have, keep those subscribers you do have. And if you lose subscribers, that's okay. Because the YouTube algorithm is constantly, well, it's constantly changing. So you may read one month that starting a new channel is good, and the next month starting a new channel is no help at all. And I think the YouTube algorithm is not so much, I mean, so you have a video that starts, that you upload, and you'll see, the algorithm will see performance from your subscribers, but it'll very quickly figure out who to put that video in front of. And it doesn't have a whole lot of basis on who your current subscribers are. So there's like unbounded growth with any channel. So it doesn't make sense to start a new channel. Unless you want to start a new channel for content that you don't think is appropriate for your main channel, then sure, go for a second channel. And I do want to do more content. I'm gonna try. I just have so many irons in the fire and a bun in the oven which, if you get that terminology, is because we're expecting a new baby boy in 2 months or so. So yeah, I don't have a whole lot of time, and I don't know how many YouTube videos I'll get up. It may be a whole lot more of single shot videos that I do on my phone, that I don't edit, that I just upload directly, which seem to do okay, just not great. And I really want to do a part 14 of the high-end hydro system. Just part 13 is where I finished on the hydro system. I finished the pit, and then I did a whole bunch of other small videos. And I want to do a part 14 that summarizes all of that and maybe starts with construction of the new the new turbo turbine housing. And that's something I want to work on. I even have some drone footage, because I have a drone. It's that wasn't loud at all. Why? What the heck? Oh, this shows how much I opened this. So I have drone footage of the penstock from the sky during the winter, and you can clearly see it on the snow. And I want to do that in a part 14 video as kind of like an opening or a closing scene. I don't know. But that was the last time we had snow, which was a while ago. And so I need to focus on doing that. So maybe part 14 of the high-head hydro system, and a way to get power off of the water wheel. So those are things that I really need to focus on that will help my channel grow. I just need to get my ass to it. Did you think about sharing? Oh, you removed it. Probably because you are retyping it. I'll wait. Running internet off of hydropower. I mean, I think I did a live stream that was completely powered by hydro. If that's what you mean. But that was a very specific instance where I actually had really good flow, and I had multiple valves open on the turbine with larger nozzles. And I don't get that much flow very often. Charge your life with hydro. Or I have shirts. I only have one shirt. It's upstairs. And Joe Malovich, Harnessing the Power of Water, is on a shirt that I do offer too. And you may even see it below this live stream if you look down there. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know what you guys are seeing. Bitcoin mining from microhydro. That is a viable idea. A good way to take a resource and convert it to value without having to go through a power company. Am I saying make an overview video of your projects? I don't really need ideas to help my projects. I have plenty of ideas. What I really need to do is just maybe maybe I need to get an editor, because I find myself having a lot of content but no time to edit it. Like I'll turn the camera on, I'll ingest the video into my computer, and then I'll just never do anything with it. Alright, well, my wife's calling me again, so I guess that's the end of this stream, and I will schedule the next one and see you guys later. So, good night and sleep tight, or good morning.